right, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Bahashur Hakodash. I want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well, as well as peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. I was a high spirit wind lawyer. All right, 1 second. I was a high spirit wind lawyer, and today I want to go into a topic, just following up on a topic I did yesterday. All right, by the body of water. All right, entitled, it had to play into the bitterness. It had to play into the bitterness. What do I mean? All right, your life, how your life played out, how your lot is currently playing out in this truth. It had to play into the bitterness. That's something that a stoic leader, Elder Apostle Gabar, would always preach, is that this truth is about suffering, man. All right? Yahweh Shai suffered, all right? And we're in the stead of Yahweh Shai. We take a portion of Yahweh Shai. That's in part what the Passover is about, man. We drinking the blood and eating the bread of Yahweh Shai, okay? Meaning we partaking in his adversity, man. And it says the servant is no greater than the master. He is our master, all right? So if the master had to go through it, we are going to have to go through it, man. All right, so whatever, all right, you are going through, you can't look at it through fleshly eyes, all right? The world looks down, you know, on people that live, you know, not mundane, but just, you know, blue-collar lives or just average lives, or, you know, in the Babylonian way, if you're not at the very top, to some people, you're not doing nothing with your life, all right? But at the same time, all right, your life had to play into the storyline of bitterness. All right, the theme of this truth is that it's bitter. Ezekiel said that he looked upon the scroll. He looked in the scroll, talking about the word, and it was filled with what? Lamentations, mournings, and woe. Okay, lamentations, mournings, and woe, man. Meaning bitterness, grief. All right, when you go into the prophecies, man, all right, well, it's talking about us, well, Jerusalem being sacked, all right, us going into slavery, all right, World War III, Jacob's trouble, martial law, all right, seditions amongst men, all right, nation rising against nation, kingdom against kingdom. That's full of bitterness, man, and grief. But even on the interpersonal level, all right, your lot in this truth is full of grief. There's a word I just looked up through the spirit. It came up on the Webster's dictionary. I want to say it was the word of the day. It was called acerbic. Acerbic. A-C-E-R-B-I-C, I believe. And the archaic definition meant bitter, sour in taste. And that perfectly describes this truth, man. All right? It perfectly describes this truth. It's bitter and sour in taste, man. All right? And it says in the scriptures that it was sweet in my mouth as honey, but it was bitter in my belly, man. So just hindsight, certain things that played out in your life, you know, you've been in this truth for a while, but you might be in a state of just averageness, for lack of better words, mediocrity, as far as, you know, your living situation or whatever it may have you. It might be even austere, you know, but that plays into the bitterness, man. You've been outcasted from your family, or you might be without a woman, all right, that plays into the bitterness, okay? All right, the demons that mess with you at night, all right, the mental demons, okay? The mental demons, man. Because one thing I know about Satan, man, he doesn't want you in the spirit. He doesn't want you reading, right? And he'll put everything in your mind just to keep you out of your power source. Your power source is really reading and teaching. All right, reading, praying, fasting. That's your power source. He wants you outside of that power source, man. All right. Hey, shalom, shalom. So you occupy the word, tune against this live stream, man. Some brothers' situations are going to be better than others, but that brother that has a better situation, he's still going to have his portion of bitterness, man. One thing you can't lose sight of is that, hey, your situation had to play into the storyline or narrative of bitterness. You know? Just my own testimony, and I say this for spiritual encouragement. Some years ago, I went into this job right through an agency, a temp agency, and the job sucked, man. Just the people, the spirits they had on them. So on my lunch break, I drove to the gas station and called the temp agency. And as they had me on hold, it was a Jake talking to another Jake within the gas station. And the Jake said, hey man, sometimes something is better than nothing. Now, he wasn't talking to me, but I overheard the conversation. All right, he was like, hey, sometimes something is better than nothing, man. All right? And then, you know, I just hung up for being on hold on the phone. Or I told them it was okay, whatever I did, I can't remember. But I just kind of dealt with it. I just dealt with it, man. All right? And that job, I eventually got another job, and after I got another job, that plant shut down and closed. All right? But then even when I got another gig, all right, and I wasn't happy about it because I wanted to do something else, you know? It was more of my speed, but another Jake, and this is like 4 years later, you know? It's like 4 years later. But a Jake was talking to another Jake in the gas station in a whole different, really city, a whole different side of town. I'm in the gas station, and Jake's talking to another Jake. He was like, he asked the Jake, how was he doing? And then however the Jake responded, the Jake said in return, hey, if things was going your way, you'll start getting a little proud, you know? If things went how you wanted to go, you'll start feeling yourself a little bit. So sometimes the Most High doesn't allow things to manifest because it keeps your ass from becoming proud, man. All right? Certain ideas you had, some brothers have an enterprising spirit. All right, there's nothing wrong with that. But the Most High only allow your Jenga towers to get so high before you knock it down because he has to keep you humble. Humility is everything, man. Once again, some brothers are going to have a leeway, you know? But for myself, the Most High didn't allow that, but I saw the answer through the Spirit. And the answer through the Spirit was, hey, man, if things went your way, you'll start feeling yourself, man. Which alludes back to, hey, our stoic leader, all right, Elder Apostle Gabar, he said this years ago. He was like, man, that suffering keeps you humble. Suffering is there to keep you humble, and don't you forget it. That's what he said. You know? We are here to fucking suffer, man. But that suffering, it does something to the spirit, man. It ignites a spark of hope. The hope that this kingdom will fucking go down, man. Like, not having a woman creates bitterness, man. All right? Especially when you got these needs. All right? Or having a woman, but the trouble in the flesh that you have with a woman, that creates bitterness, man. All right, maybe you have problems with your baby mama, just something in your life is there to buffet you, man. But the outcome is like, man, I can't wait to get the fuck out of here. And if that's the outcome, if that's your mindset, then the Most High did, and he did what he did. He did his job. And to say it like that, but you know what I mean? The architect of your life, all right, he blueprinted your life how it was supposed to be blueprinted. And the intention behind the blueprint, all right? Shalom, the intention behind the blueprint was that you was going to hate this shit, because what did it say in prophecy? They love not their lives to the death. then the apostles, they always preach, man. All right, hey, you're gonna lose. You're not gonna have much, man. You're not gonna have much, man. But if that's what it takes for me to have the Spirit, then so be it. And I mean that. All right, the Most High God is out here like birds, man. A bird don't know where his next meal coming from. He lives day by day. Now we still supposed to manage our affairs. Sometimes that can be a challenge. Sometimes you can get behind on that treadmill. All right, but that it ain't, because what does the scripture say? Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof, man. You know? Hey, yeah, I can roughly, because I'm driving, but I get the point, bro. Sorrow is better than laughter. You know? Sometimes your spirit just want to watch entertainment on YouTube. Or your flesh just want to watch entertainment, but nah, it's better to be at the house of mourning, man. Certain things you hear, it shock your spirit, but also activate the hidden man, activate their spirit to be on point, man, as opposed to being in a lackadaisical spirit, man. But you have your balance, and you have your entertainment and balance. But for the most part, man, hey, the spirit wants you in a sober state, because I noticed too, sorrow sobers up your damn mind. Makes your ass serious, man. Even if you watch the movie X, starring Denzel Washington, in this portrayal of Malcolm X, he was, I think he was called Malcolm Little before he converted. He had a certain spirit on him, man. He was kind of like, a rebel, a deviant. He was full of horseplay. I remember when he had that scene with the director, Spike Lee. They was playing in the park and stuff. So he had that childish spirit on him. When he went to prison and got converted. All right? He became very serious, man, very grave. And I remember one scene, he was walking in Harlem, the prostitutes trying to sell him some goodies, man. He just walking right past him. He just had a very solemn spirit, man. Same thing with us, man. When we got converted to our nationality, and ultimately converted to the abundance of Yahweh, because that's really what we did. All right? We became very serious men. All right? And one thing I know was important is attitude, man. Your attitude towards your situation. If you have the wisdom to understand that, hey, this is part of my baptism, this is part of my chastisement, this is part of me being humble, keeping me humble, then you have a better attitude towards your hell. Endure hardness. Because what did our Lord and Savior say? If you suffer with me, you shall reign with me, man. But this is long suffering. Some of us have been in the truth 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And that's under the apostles, the elder apostles, who've been in this truth ultimately about 40 years plus. When all their hairs are black, man. So if you've been in this truth 5, 10, 15, 20 years, that's long suffering, man. Some of us have to be, reproved or lifted up by other men. But now you see why it says in the scriptures, iron sharpeneth iron. Iron sharpeneth iron, man. All right? Because sometimes in the race, you'll slow down, you'll get gassed. And the brother, encourage you to keep pushing. Because it's a long distance run, man. All right? Certain brothers came in this truth with a sprint runner's mindset. None of us knew we'll be in this crusade this long. But a sprint runner will run out of gas quicker because he's calibrated himself to run in a short distance race. All right? This is a long distance race. Because Even in the time of Jacob's trouble, you're still gonna have to have patience, man. Even in the hour of temptation, you're gonna have patience. And we gotta pray for that patience, man. Yahweh prayed 3 times that the Father, Yahweh, would lift that cup from him. And then he said, hey, if it be in your will, whatever thy will is, roughly paraphrasing, man. Showing you Yahweh he was a man that was subject to the flesh. The flesh fears for his life. So that's ultimate courage, all right? To go through something despite pain or difficulty, man. That's the ultimate soldier of Yahweh. Part of the bitterness is that you've withdrawn from society. You're not going out. You've become a recluse. That's bitter, because Rome is supposed to be sweet. Partying, clubbing, that's sweet to the flesh. So to deprive yourself of that is a form of bitterness. But that type of bitterness sobers your mind up, man. You see? But the point is, man, there's always a fucking point, man, is that it had to play into the bitterness, meaning the things that you went through, the things that you're currently going through, it is the way it is because it has to play into your narrative, your role in your life of you having a bitter life. It has to play into America. America goes back to the Mara, M-A-R-A, which means what? Bitter. It's acerbic. The nature of America is bitter, especially if you are an Israelite. The water for the scriptures, I can. America is bitter, man. Your wages that you make or don't make, how much you get taxed. There's certain things in life as men that we're deprived of, and that creates bitterness. Be it, financial stability, a family, up under the same roof, access to your family, enjoying your family, seeing your wife actually being her feminine and play her role. But a lot of times our wives got to work too. A lot of times our wives have to work too. All right? And that's part of the bitterness, to get up at an hour that your body should be sleeping just to go to work, to be at work at an hour when your body should be sleeping. All right? That's bitter, man. To be under the rule of a freaking tyrant. And it says, be not frantic towards our servants, man. And I forgot what that word meant, frantic. But it's like you hasty, you wearing them out, man. You working the crap out of them, man. Overtime and all this stuff, man. Sometimes you have a last minute event that happened that cuts into your dealings with the brothers, man. Like, man, I gotta be at work all these hours. I gotta be at work all these, and then like that cut into important dealings with the brothers, man. But hey, as the scripture says, thy right hand offend thee. If it start cutting into your routine with the ministry comes first. But I mean, that's pretty much the point, man. I'm not gonna prolong it. That's pretty much the point, man. Hey, we gotta fight. We gotta fight, man. Something else Elder Apostle Gabar will say, you gotta fight to stay in this thing, man. Because the whole thing is staying woke. And you know, Jake took that word woke and made it mean something else. But really, woke to stay in this truth, man. To know the name of the Father, His Son, to know who you are, to know what America is according to the scriptures, and to know what Esau, who he is according to the scriptures. All right, like I said, to know who you are according to the scriptures. The name, like I said, of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, that's part of being woke, but you gotta fight. Because Satan, his job is to pull that wool back over your head, man. And to make you forget that, hey, it's a kingdom ahead and America's gonna be destroyed. All right? That's why I said earlier, we really converted into the bonds of Yahushua, because you have Jake, they woke up to that nationality, but they didn't put their feet in those shackles, man, under that bond. That's why they know they're Israelites, but they want to build in America. They're not under that yoke, you know? They're not under that yoke, man. All right? But like I said, the thing, whatever you went through, whatever you're going through, you know, don't forget that it had to go through that way to play into that bitterness, man. Real shit. All right, but with that, I hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai Bahashim Chahakodash. I also want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who as well as peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. Abba Kum Yashala Shalom.